refuse to lose. I'm built to win. Applied myself. I filled it in. No time for the doubt. They counted me out. I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss.
Pacers were going to make the playoffs. It didn't end so well for you, brother.
If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool.
You fell asleep at the trade deadline when we had a trade to get Kyle Lowry out of here.
They told me I couldn't do it. They told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. I'm sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie. I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me, keep on running. Toes they gonna take
this is what we got to tell.
I've been doing this.
I felt it in. No time for the doubt. They counted me out. I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss. I pay for the cost. I'm winning to win. Yeah. Refuse to lose. I'm built to win. Applied myself. I filled it in. No time for the doubt. They counted me out. I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss. I'm paying the cost. I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse.
Welcome to Refuse to Lose Sports. My name is Joe Jordan. Excited about today's episode, man. We got some things to talk about. We are approaching week 2, but we're going to dip a little bit into week 1 still, and we're going to dip right back into week 2 because we got to talk about C.J. Stroud and them Texans, Dave. I mean, they beat the Colts, probably to me one of the most entertaining games of week 1. Did they prove anything by beating the Colts in week 1? We got to talk about my boy Bibby, his guy, Bo Nix, or shall we say Bo Picks?
Bo Picks.
I'm not going to do that to that man, but Bo took an L, but we got to give him a letter grade because we talked about Caleb and Jaden, but we got to talk about Bo Nix also. We got the Jags and the Browns. You know, Tay, shout out to Tay. He's a Browns fan. Both of them on the verge of going 0-2. Which one more likely can't afford to go 0-2? And lastly, Thursday night football game tonight, Bills versus Dolphins. Shout out to my boy Dave. Shout out to my brother J-Mo and DeVore. But as y'all can see, Tomo's not here. Missy get done, son. You know, he's been on the perfect attendance watch for the longest, and he's taking his sick leave right now. And but I got my boy Davey Dollars here, fresh out the doghouse. Make sure y'all check out his episode of Dave's Doghouse. Dave, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. I'm ready to talk about what we, these topics that we got. We got a game tonight as well to talk about to see who's gonna pick what. And yeah, I saw the super chat, so I ain't forget about it.
I'm gonna do it when you know what? We don't do it no more. Go ahead and do the super chat.
So shout out to Teddy, $4.99 super chat. He's a Yankees fan. If you don't know, he's also the host of BWT. So make sure you subscribe to Baseball with Teddy. $4.99 super chat. Red Sox suck.
Let me say it like him. Red Sox sucks.
But in case you didn't know, over the past 2 years, the Red Sox are 7-2 at Yankee Stadium.
I saw that. I saw that.
Start spreading those news, my God. So there you go. But other than that, I'm feeling great. It's been a pretty easy day. Let's turn up. Oh, my bad.
Oh, sorry.
So you have it, Tomo?
Up.
Tomo, you missed, man. Tomo, you missed, as you can see. Hey, listen, man, we are streaming this on YouTube, so make sure y'all like the video on YouTube. Make sure you follow and subscribe on all of our social media platforms and share this video with a sports fan because you can be involved in the show by being in the comment section. We can see all the comments we'll be putting out throughout the show. Shout out to my boy Daniel for being the first comment. Well, sorry. Shout out to my boy Teddy for being the first comment. Built to win. And also Teddy with the super chat, the Red Sox suck super chat. Shout out to Teddy, man. I heard that a lot when we went to the Red Sox game, me and Teddy. And last but not least, enjoy the rest of the show. So, Dave, first topic. Let's talk about these Browns and the Jags. So, both of them lost. Jags had a good, comfortable lead. and lost the lead to the Dolphins. Dolphins won. Tyreek Hill doing the I'm arrested post. Celebration. And then you got the Cleveland Browns. We talked about them. I mean, how Watson was. So both of them play each other this week. Both of them have playoff aspirations.
Mm-hmm.
Which one of these teams cannot? Both of them probably can't. But more likely, which one of these teams can't afford to go 0-2? Who needs to win more? That's basically what the question is.
This is actually this is not easy to pick, honestly, because I looked at their both of their strengths of schedule. Crazy thing is, the Cleveland Browns strength of schedule is 19th overall. The Jaguars are 20th overall, so they're right by. They're neck and neck. If I had to choose of who needs to win this game more, for me, it's the Cleveland Browns. For one, their quarterback has a lot of issues on the field and off the field, but on the field, he hasn't been very well since he got to Cleveland. We tried to give him, some leeway when he only played not even half a season. He only played like 6 games 2 years ago. And then last year he was like, he's still a little rusty because he just he hasn't had a full off season yet. Got a full off season and didn't look good. And now, didn't look good this off season again. And he looked pretty putrid in the very first game this past Sunday. And you can tell that he hasn't played up to par. And they have some running issues right now with Nick Chubb not being there, so they got to get as many wins as possible until he comes back. More than likely, he'll come back after week 4. Uh-oh. What we got? Teddy spending money today. Another 49 super chat. Giants suck. Danny trash over under 2 picks this weekend. You might want to bet the over. Tell you that right now. But yeah, I think the Cleveland Browns need this one more. Their defense did not look good on Sunday. So that's something that they have to look that has to get better with Denzel Ward and Myles Garrett and those guys on that defense. So the defense has to play a lot better than what we saw against the Cowboys on Sunday. And if I'm being honest, I think the Jags have a better chance of winning the division than the Browns do. Simply just because for me, it just seems like the Browns haven't won the division since they've been in the AFC North. So it's almost a foregone conclusion they're not going to win it. Not saying that they don't have a chance, but it don't seem likely, especially with Deshaun Watson at your quarterback. So you got to get as many wins as possible so to at least get yourself in the playoffs like you did last year, because you were a wild card last year, and you have a team built enough with enough talent around. You went and traded for Jerry Jeudy. You got Amari Cooper. You got Nick Chubb coming back soon, so you got to get as many wins as possible. The Jaguars, I feel like they can slip 0-2 and still kind of win the division, because we're going to talk about another team in this conference later. No one really took advantage of saying that they're the ones to beat in that division. So that's just my say so right now.
Hold up.
Okay. Keys, the Giants fan, $2 super chat. Giants Nation rally around 8. I'm guessing that's Danny Dimes. It ain't too many Giants fans that agree with you, my guy. I think you saw the video that I shared in the chat yesterday. Ain't too many fans that agree with you, but hey, I mean, do you think?
So me, I'm gonna go with the Jaguars, and here's the reason why. And I think you will agree with me once I'm finished talking. All right. Number one, I think the Jaguars division, there's only one playoff berth out of that division. But when you look at the AFC North, there's potentially 3 in there. All right. So I do think that because they're gonna beat each other up. So I do think that that benefits the Browns. And number 2, and the main reason why I think they can afford it, I think a Browns loss is a blessing in disguise, tell you the truth. I think if they win this game, they will keep Deshaun Watson as a starter quarterback even more long. I'm being serious. I ain't trying to be funny. I ain't trying to be funny. Make me laugh, right? I'm not even trying to be funny. Like, seriously. Like, not saying you want to lose, you want to win, but if they lose, that's more he gets pushed to the edge. All right, because I feel like they would be a better team with Jameis Winston. They Jameis Winston, I think they would, because Deshaun Watson is just not it. So I do think losing to the Jaguars will be better for them. And plus, when you look at the division with the AFC South, the Texans, even though I picked the Jags to win this division, the Texans, we're gonna talk about them. They look pretty good against the Colts. They have a lot of weapons. They're a high powered team. They got a lot of guys to go to. They quarterback is good, right? And then the Browns went to playoffs last year. So and they own the Bengals. They split with the Steelers and the Ravens all the time. So I'm confident once the division rivals meet each other, that they're gonna all split. So they're gonna be good with them. But I think that them losing to the Jaguars will be good for them. It'll be good for them. So I'm going with it. I'm sorry. Yeah, it'll be good for them. So I'm going with the Jaguars.
Yeah, I can see your point, but I still just think that the Browns are desperate for a win right now. And especially Deshaun Watson is desperate for a win because he's getting a lot of criticism right now. You see they continue to compare him to Baker Mayfield, who's now doing so much better in Tampa Bay. Got a brand new contract, threw 4 touchdowns on Sunday against the Commanders, and looks like he's going to have another promising season. And Deshaun Watson is, the one that has the most guaranteed money as a quarterback right now in the league. Still a Browns problem, not necessarily his problem, but he got to play like he's worth it. And then right now, depending on this legal case, who knows if he may get cut sometime soon. So he needs to get as something now. He needs to get a win now. Well, I guess it's more so that Deshaun Watson needs this win more than the Browns do. So I think that's kind of my standpoint. Mm-hmm. I think Watson needs this a lot more than the Browns or than the Jaguars do. I just think he just needs to do something to salvage his football career as far as him on the field.
Mm-hmm. And also with the Jaguars, I feel like they need it because how they lost week 1, they had that game in control. And then the Dolphins, they made plays. Travis Etienne fumbling at the goal line, basically. They give it a big touchdown to Tyreek Hill at the end of the game. You go for it on 4th down, 4th and 2 in your own territory when you're only up by 3 in the 4th quarter? What? You didn't get it. They go to overtime. Okay, they don't go overtime. Then they go overtime. But my whole thing is the way they lost, they kind of crumbled that game. So they need to bounce back. They need to bounce back from that game. The Deshaun Watson, they lost to the Cowboys. They had 2 tackles. They had 2 linemen on the right side of their line hurt. They had reasons. They don't have Nick Chubb right now. So they have their reasons why they lost that game. But the Jaguars, they should have won that game for sure. And they should win this game too. So that's why they also, the Jaguars should be favored, in my opinion. I think they are favored. They playing. That's another reason. They're playing in Jacksonville, and they just renamed this. And you saw it, Dave. They just renamed the whole stadium for the game after Trevor Lawrence. What is it called? They just renamed it.
Jaguars are the spread is -3 Jaguars.
Yeah,
so they're favored by 3 points.
There it is. And JMO, you're right. That was a great defensive play. That was a great defensive play by Devon All right, so I'm gonna say Jaguars. All right, cool. So look, Dave, we gotta talk about your boy. I don't know if it's your boy. All right, I know. Well, I kind of like Bo Nix. Well, we won't get to it. All right, Bo Nix. Bo Nix just win against the Seahawks in Seattle. First game starting as a rookie. They lost 26-20. His performance was pretty mild, right?
Mid.
26 from 42, 138 yards, 3.3 yards average per attempt. 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, sacked twice, QBR of 31.3, and a QB rating of 47.5.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to give this performance a letter grade. All right. And I'm going to go first on this one. Now, Dave, we got to, how are we looking at this? Now, are we going to grade it as if I'm grading any quarterback in the league, or I'm going to look at the circumstances? Let's look at the circumstances. Circumstances are, okay, he's a rookie. All right. Not only he's a rookie that's not supposed to be starting right now. He got thrown into the fire prematurely, in my opinion. Right? So that's number 2. And number 3, you're playing against a good defense in Seattle. Like you're playing on the road. So you get thrown in the fire. With all that being said, I got my F.
I ain't gonna lie, that threw me off a little bit. That threw me off.
I mean, I'm sorry. It was no defending this, man, because I mean, look, don't get me wrong. I saw what I like about him, his guts, his grit. He kept playing. You know, he didn't look rattled.
Mm-hmm.
He just made some mistakes. Like he'll watch his read all the way through from the beginning to the play to the end of the play, interception in the end zone. Little stuff like that. Yeah. He was inaccurate in a few throws. So he just a rookie. He just played bad. And I can't give him a D because I gave Caleb Williams a D. And Caleb Williams played better than this. So he got an F. He got an F for this. I mean, 3.3 yards. And one thing I thought he should have done more was run the ball more. Now he did ran 5 times, but I felt like it was multiple opportunities where he could have ran it, but he tried to be the quarterback, right? A quarterback. So I'm going to give him an F.
Wow. I wasn't expecting that letter grade. The way that you built it up, I thought that you were going to give him like a C- or something like that, or even like a D+, you know, something along those lines, or a C. F, I wasn't unexpected like that. I expected me to say F because I did have him under dishonorable mention the other day. But I'm actually going to give him a D-. I'm giving him a D- because he is a rookie. He is a rookie, so he's going to make mistakes. It's early on in his career, but he did not play particularly well, in my opinion. I thought that he definitely looked like he wasn't able to. I don't want to say read defenses, but he wasn't able to get the safety off of his receivers. He looked down them a little bit too much. He wasn't doing the things that he needed to do to help his team win. And I got to disagree with you on something. He wasn't thrown into the fire. He won the job in the offseason and the preseason. Jarrett Stidham was the starting quarterback, but he did not look good. He didn't look good in practice. He didn't look good in training camp. He didn't look good at all. So Bo Nix actually looked a lot better when he was with the ones than when Jarrett Stidham was with the ones. So that's why he got it. He won the job. So I won't say he particularly got thrown into the fire. I mean, for one, Russell Wilson is no longer there. He's gone. He's with the Pittsburgh Steelers. You know, they traded him away, and they're paying most of that money. And none of the other quarterbacks, in my opinion, are better than Bo Nix. And I don't. Jarrett Stidham is not good. He had one good game against the 49ers a couple seasons ago because he was in a system that he was used to. But other than that, Jarrett Stidham has been what in this league? Just a backup. So. But his performance wasn't necessarily well. I think he's gonna, if it takes some time for him to be able to play a little bit better, he starts to, get some help as far as being able to read the defenses and looking off the corners and safety so he can get somebody wide open. Because Cortland Sutton is a weapon that you got to be able to use. I think I was a Noah Fant I think he's there as well. I can't remember the tight end's name. No offense with the Seahawks, correct?
No offense, yeah.
Yeah. Never mind. Whatever the tight end's name, I can't remember his name. Greg, something like that. I can't remember.
I know his first name is Audrey.
My thing is that he has to be able to do something, and then they need to help him with the run game because the run game is not good enough. Javonte Williams is not what they expected him to be. The offensive line still needs some kind of help. And the defense has to, play up to par as well. He needs some help all around. But even still, it's not. I can't give him a passing grade after that game because he did throw 2 picks. He only had 138 yards passing with 42 attempts. So he dropped back 40 sometimes and only had 138 passing yards. I can't give him a passing grade for that. So it has to be a D- or something like that. So he has to play better. I'm thinking that he will, but we'll see.
Let me address some of these comments, if you don't mind, Dave. Let me address the first one I saw by Vaughn. Shout out to Vaughn, Mr. RBO himself. Make sure Real Ballers Only. Make sure I subscribe to his. Joe, that was the game plan for him to throw it short. That's how you ease a rookie in. Somebody 3.3 passing yards. Bo Nix has 3.3 passing yards for average. 3.3 yards for average because he missed on a lot of big throws. He missed a lot of throws that would have brought that average up a whole bunch. That's number one. Number two, everybody saying that he played better than Caleb. Y'all acting like his defense didn't show up. He threw an interception, and right they threw an interception, they got a safety. They got 2 safeties on the Seahawks, 2 of them. That defense played really well, but Bo Nix kept turning the ball over. He threw he had two interceptions, right? And Caleb, one thing about Caleb he was converting on third down. I know he wasn't, not consistently, but Caleb didn't turn the ball over. I can't get somebody an elf that didn't turn the ball over. He put the team on harm's way not one time. Bo Nix do too. And yes, the score looks better than what it is because Bo Nix ran for a touchdown when the game was out of reach for real. So I think Caleb still played better than Bo Nix because the Seahawks, the Broncos, on the first possession, the Seahawks threw interceptions. You don't do interceptions on the first possession. Mm-hmm. So, like the Broncos defense played very well. It's just that they ain't capitalized. Now, Sean Payton, why are your boy throwing the ball 42 times and you only ran the ball 25 times? Take away Bo Nix 20 times. Just like Swift. Swift only ran the ball 10 times the whole game with Caleb Williams. Right? All right, so I do think Caleb played better. They both didn't play well. All right, we were arguing a D- versus an F, basically. But Bo Nix is definitely an F, though.
Yeah, I mean, neither one of them would have gotten a passing grade for me, but not turning the ball over is important, and then turning the ball over is also important. So, I mean, if you're giving the other team chances, then it doesn't help you out. Now I will say I think Caleb only threw for like 90-something passing yards, so that's probably that's another reason why some people won't give him a higher grade other than Bo Nix. I can see that, but for me, it just helps when your quarterback is not hurting your defense, at least by putting them in position to where they're on short fields and it's just he's not turning the ball over. So Bo Nix just has to clean it up. I mean, it's his first NFL pro game in the year. Same thing for both of those guys. There wasn't a rookie that played great in week 1. You did have Jaden that had probably the better game because he didn't turn the ball over and he had 2 rushing touchdowns. But the only one that came out with a win was Caleb.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Vaughn, with this comment right here, with those attempts, his Peyton ain't doing no favors. Yeah, I agree, and we can say the same thing about Caleb too. Yeah, I don't get it.
You got to protect your quarterback. You have to run the ball more. I think I've said that a lot. No matter who you are, to protect your quarterback, run the ball because you got to have a balanced offense.
Especially on the road with the 12 man.
Yeah, and then it's a rookie. It's a rookie, so you protect him a lot better when you do that because then it keeps the defense honest.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't get that, man. You know, Sean Payton got an ego issue. Jason Tatum, Taysom Hill.
he think Bo Nix is gonna be his next Drew Brees.
Yeah, I made him. You know how these coaches be. But anyways, so let's talk about the Texans. The Texans, in my opinion, Dave, I felt like this was the most entertaining game all weekend. As far as like back and forth, both scoring touchdown. It was a very exciting game. You know, exciting catches, exciting passes. The Texans beat the Colts in Indianapolis 29-27, the Sport Day home opener, and they look pretty good. They got a lot of weapons. Now the question is really because a lot of people are high on the Texans. They are very high on the Texans this year. Some people say that some people think they're the biggest threat to the Chiefs in the AFC. So would you say, and then a lot of people got them a super highly favorite to win a division. Did they prove anything though in that Colts game?
After week 1, no. I don't think they proved anything. They proved that they can score for sure, and that they can win a shootout. I think that's what they proved. They proved that they can win a shootout. But for me, what would have been more impressive to me if I was, a Houston Texans fan or someone that, rooted for them to win. I mean, I kind of do root for them to win because of the head coach and because they have a lot of some former Niners players that play with the Texans.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely think that if their defense played a lot better, then it would have been a lot more impressive to me, because then it would have been like they can score and stop you. So because this defense was actually pretty good at the end of the season last year, because the rookie they drafted last year won defensive rookie of the year. Then you got other guys on this defense that's able to help them out. They went and signed Daniil Hunter, who had led the league in sacks last year. So you added some pieces to this defense to make it look a lot better. And then you go out and you allow 27 points in your first game in the first week. Now, I mean, I guess that's the norm for some defenses right now, because you see that the Browns defense, who was actually number one in scoring defense last year, allowed 33 points. But we know when we watched that game, it wasn't because the defense was just getting gashed. It's because, Deshaun Watson did not help them out in any way. So it's for me, I would say it's not impressive, only because it was a shootout and the defense didn't play up to par from what I expected that defense to be, because of what they did in the offseason, because of what they looked like before. So I would say if they would have won that in more of like a dominating fashion against a division rival, it would have been more impressive. But since it was not that, then to me, it was just like, okay. But now for me, it was more impressive that the Colts was able to keep up with them, because Anthony Richardson only played 2 or 3 games last year. He threw 250-yard touchdown passes in that game. He threw for 200-something yards, but only completed 9 passes. So that to me was more impressive than the Texans winning the game.
Okay. I was impressed by one thing with the Texans, and this surprised me. I'm not even going to lie. Bobby Slowick, right, the offensive coordinator, 49ers ties also.
Yes, sir.
So 49ers ties, great offensive coordinator, man. He had a great game plan. Let's name some of they received. First of all, they got C.J. Stroud, rookie of the year, Stephon Diggs, right? So they got Stephon Diggs, Nico Collins, who made some incredible catches that game.
Facts.
Tank Dell, Dalton Schultz. They got weapons.
And Joe Mixon, who had the most rushing yards in week 1.
That's why I'm impressed. Dave, they ran the ball with him 30 times. 30 times with all those weapons.
159 yards rushing. Crazy.
In the chat, we was watching the Eagles and Packers game, right? And then Saquon Barkley burst off with his big run. And then they went pass. And I put in the chat, like, yo, the Eagles just abandoned Saquon Barkley after he just got them down the field. And Kevo said, that's how the league is now. Well, how about you hit up Bobby Slowick? Because
that's not true. That's not how the league is. San Fran ran the ball 38 times Monday night.
49 ties, right? My whole thing is, when I was watching that game and Joe Mixon was getting chunks. He was moving forward, and they kept feeding them. And on crucial third downs, they'll throw the ball. They'll find a Nico Collins who made 2 great contested catches, and they find Stephon Diggs twice in the end zone. So I felt like, 2 touchdowns in the end zone. And Joe Mixon only had 1 touchdown, but he was moving that rock. So I was impressed, because when I watched the Texans, I felt like with these weapons, they will be eager to get the ball to these weapons. That's what people do. They feel like, oh, we got Tank Dell, we got Nico, we got Diggs, we got to throw Diggs the ball. Diggs got the ball. What he had? Look, Nico had 8 targets, Tank Dell had 7, Diggs had 6. That's it, right? But Diggs caught all 6 of his. Tank was 3 from 7, and Nico was 6 from 8. But Mixon got 30 touches on the rush. And he got 3 receptions too. So, and Dalton Schultz only had 3. So they won the game. And it was a division round. It was a good win for them on the road against a division opponent with these new weapons gelling together. Because like you said, the defense wasn't there 100%. Because the Colts could have won that game, but they went for it early. Like, Colts were moving the ball. Let me just say that. They were moving the ball constantly downfield. So, but I was impressed by them using Joe Mixon and riding them the whole game. 30, you don't see that nowadays on the non-Shanahan team. 30 carries from one person.
Technically, you can call this a Shanahan kind of team.
It is. That's what I'm saying. You're right. This is 49 ties. I mean, come on now. I ain't mad at it. So Shout out. Yeah, I was surprised, and I'm not gonna lie. That gave me like, okay, the Texans. That was good. Well done. It was like a
I
well
will
done one.
I will say this though. I think the Joe Mixon signing was one of the most underrated moves from this NFL offseason because you
Yeah.
got a lot of teams that talk about the Diggs move. That's more talked about than Joe Mixon, and rightfully so because Diggs is an All-Pro, Pro Bowl player. We know what he can do, but we all know he goes missing in the later in the years. Joe Mixon has always been an underrated running back because where he was with the Cincinnati Bengals. They got Joe Burrow, they got Jamar Chase, they got T. Higgins, they had Tyler Boyd, so they had other weapons outside of him. He was just like exactly, and he was like kind of I won't say non-existent, but he wasn't a guy that was featured or talked about a lot.
Mhm.
He's an underrated running back, and he's very serviceable. And he played other than Saquon, him and Jordan Mason played the best games as far as running backs in week one. They all three of those guys balled out, but Joe Mixon had the most impressive game because I don't think we've seen a game like that from him where he ran for almost 200 yards in the game. So for me, I think that's what's going to help the team out a lot more. If the defense plays better, and he's able to run the ball 20 to 25 times a game, that's going to help the pass game so much more, which was already lethal last year.
Most teams didn't run the ball 30 times the whole team. And by the way, the Texans had a worst rushing yards per carry last year. So getting Joe Mixon is incredible.
Facts.
It's incredible. It's incredible. So I got to give them props for that. I'm not going to lie. I wasn't expecting them to run the ball that much. I was expecting them to throw it, and they ran that thing. So I think they proved something to me in that game.
Yeah, I'll say that too. They definitely proved something to me for that. But for me, I just want to see that defense do better. You know me, I'm all about defense. Defense got to play a lot better.
Agree.
So
I
if the
agree.
defense plays better and this offense is clicking like that, then yeah, that's when I'll say that they can be a threat in the AFC.
I agree. I would say the Colts defense did look better because Anthony Richardson missed 2 throws on what's the name? Adonai Mitchell. 2 throws come wide open for a touchdown. And he overthrew him both times. 2 for a TD. I'm like he was gone. So you're right, Dave. They gotta set the game up.
Yes, sir. Got to.
So speaking of stepping that game up, we got a game tonight, Thursday night football. Another division rivals. The Miami Dolphins are at home in Finland, Hard Rock Stadium, playing against the Buffalo Bills. You know, Bill Mafia brought the buses. You know, they got tour buses coming all the way down from Buffalo. And this is a good rival game. They always have good games. It's rarely a blowout when it comes to these two teams. All right. So now we're gonna make our predictions. We're gonna talk about the game, obviously, who we think gonna win and why. So we're gonna start with me. I go first in this one. This is where usually it's the other way around, but this year I'm picking the Bills. I picked the Bills to win the early one and the Dolphins to win the late one. I know it's unusual. So I'm going with the Bills this game. It's hard for me to say why because you see when I watched the Bills game against the Cardinals, right? They got off to a slow start. I mean, Kyler Murray was looking good. But one thing about Kyler Murray was making stuff work because he was improvising. Like it wasn't like he had to move within the pocket, move out of the pocket. Like he was moving. Like he wasn't sitting in the pocket making plays. He was making things work. He was improvising. That's not the type of player Tua is. Now Tua did some of that last week. I will give him props for that. But they also got to a slow start like the Bills, right? But the thing, Josh Allen, man, I feel like Josh Allen is going to have a really good game today. I feel like throwing the ball, he didn't really have a great game. A lot of things he did with his legs. I think he had 3 touchdowns he had 3 rushing touchdowns that game, right? So I'm gonna go with the Bills to win this one in a close one, even though Miami typically wins this one at home and they normally losing in Buffalo. So I'm going with the Bills.
Yeah. I was about to say the last 13 games, the Bills are 11-2, where Josh Allen is 11-2 against the Dolphins, and the 2 losses were in Dolphin Stadium. So I'm gonna go with history. History says that the Dolphins normally win the home game, especially early on in the season. And this is when the Dolphins normally play better. They play better early on in the season, and they pretty much kind of slow down after like week 8, week 9. So that's what I'm expecting. Until I see different, I'm going to go with what I've seen the most. And just like you said, both teams started off slow. But hopefully there's no police situation this time with Tyreek Hill, and he's able to just be in the game and not have to worry about none of that stuff.
I know.
Let's see if Jaden Waddle gets featured a lot more. I want to see Devon A-Chain is now active, so he will be playing tonight. Raheem Mostert is out, so you expect Devon A-Chain to get most of the carries. So fantasy-wise,
Exactly.
we know what carries are in the R2 league now. So if you got Devon A-Chain, you might want to go ahead and start up.
Hey, just in case, I saw he was questionable. I picked up Wilson. I picked up Wilson. This is in case he was yeah. This is in case he ain't playing.
I think having Wilson will definitely be fine because he is nursing an ankle injury. So who knows what happens to Devon A-Chain tonight. I think that the Dolphins take advantage of being at home early on the season and catch an early lead in this division and go 2-0. Not to say that the Bills have no chance, because I think they do. I think their defense impressed me a little bit more because of all the pieces that they lost. We know most of their guys are pretty much gone, but their defense played particularly well. It wasn't absolutely terrible. Marvin Harrison didn't have a great outcome in his first NFL game. And we heard the controversy with Kyler Murray saying it's not my job to get it to your receiver. Yes, you are. You're the quarterback.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not gonna be here. Go ahead.
I won't be here, so I'm gonna just speak my piece on that now.
In the comments.
It is as a quarterback, it's your job to make sure your receivers are fed. It is not your offensive coordinator. It is you, because you're on the field. You see who's open. You see who's not.
You know what, Dave? We got time. We're going to address after this.
Okay, cool. So, I think the Dolphins take advantage of that. Being at home, and they normally are really good at home. The Dolphins are the Cowboys at home. If you really think about it, Dolphins are the Cowboys at home. Dolphins just don't. They win at home. That's what they do. That's what they do. And whether it's a good team or bad team, especially if it's early on in the season, they've known for going 7-0, 8-0, like 6-1 early on in the season. So I can see that happening. So I think that the Dolphins win this game. I also think it's going to be close. I don't see a blowout or anything because I think Josh Allen is too. I won't say he's too good, but I just don't expect to see a blowout in this game. I'll be surprised, honestly, if it is a blowout either way. But I think the Dolphins win this game close.
Yeah, see, before the season, I picked the Bills to win this game. But the Dolphins, man, the Bills, their defense and their offense, man. Like I said, going against Kyler Murray, I feel like Josh Allen did a lot of things on the show, put a cape on a lot. I have to see more, with the Bills and the Dolphins. They should win this game. Like you said, they are at home. They are at home. They're off this emotional high with this Tyreek Hill situation. The whole team was there for Tyreek Hill and all that stuff. So I feel like the Dolphins should win this game, but we'll see. It's a division game. And let's do it like a score if you can. All right. I'm gonna say 23-26 Bills.
That's close to mine. I was gonna say 23-20 Dolphins.
Okay. Let's get it. See, if I was confident, I'd put some cookies on it, but I ain't that confident.
I'm a pass on that.
I ain't messing with it. So this Kyler Murray situation, we you kind of dipped into it, right? Marvin Harrison Jr., arguably the best receiver that came out the draft, right? Y'all know who his father is. And he goes to Kyler Murray. We all were excited. Oh, Kyler Murray got Marvin Harrison Jr. now. We saw what he did with DeAndre Hopkins. He get D-Hop, and he was an MVP candidate until he got hurt. And then Marvin Harrison Jr., if I'm not mistaken, 3 targets, 1 reception, 4 yards the whole game. So, and then Kyler Murray came out with the comments. He's not obligated to find Marvin Harrison Jr. He's gonna go with the flow of the offense. He knows he has a feel for when somebody needs the ball. Well, obviously he don't, but he said he has a feel for it, and he's gonna leave it to the OC. That's what he said, right? So, Dave, what's your reaction to that?
I think that's as clean as I can say it. I think that's BS. That's what I'm going to say. I think that's BS. No matter who you are as a quarterback, you have to make sure you find your receivers or at least give them an opportunity to make a play. Yeah. That's what the receivers are there for. There aren't times where receivers are always going to be open. Sometimes you just got to take chances, especially with a guy like this who was highly sought, who had a great career at Ohio State. You drafted him high overall, so you could have a weapon because you gave away Hollywood Brown. You traded him to the Chiefs, so you don't have any other like really high power weapons. I mean, not saying that you don't have any other weapons, but he's the guy to draft. You more than likely want him to be your number one. You want him to pretty much grow with Kyler Murray because Kyler Murray is your quarterback. You did give him a contract, so he's going to be there for the foreseeable future. So, as the quarterback, you want to make sure you create that rapport with your receiver. You go publicly and say something like that, that makes your receiver look like you don't favor him.
Mm-hmm.
And not saying that you need to favor any specific receiver, but especially the guy that your number one receiver, you want to make sure you feature him a lot more than others because you want to make sure that he has an impact on the game. Exactly. Now, let's say if he did give him 10 targets and they still lost. Okay, cool. You have your right to say that because you gave him an opportunity. But you only threw the ball his way 3 times. And it's not like he was guarded spectacularly in that game. There were times where he didn't really create any separation in that game. I did see maybe 1 or 2 plays he didn't create separation, so I get it if you didn't attempt it. But there were other times where he was open. There were other times you were open and he just didn't. You didn't feed him the ball. You missed him on a wide open touchdown. So you have to be able to make sure you get all of your weapons involved, whether it's your running back, your tight ends, your wide receiver. You got to make sure you feed them. Your offensive coordinator is there to call the play, but you're there to actually call who gets the ball because you're on the field. You see the coverage. You see exactly who does what. This is not a Jared Goff with Sean McVay situation. This is not where you have to read. He has to tell you who's open in your helmet. Kyler Murray, I don't think we've heard that you have had to do that in your career. We know that you had a stipulation about playing the game in your contract, which was later taken out. But the thing is, we don't see you as a quarterback that needs to be told who to throw the ball to. You should already know that. As a quarterback in the NFL, you've been here long enough. You pretty much know who you need to pass the ball to. So you got to give him the opportunities. To say that you're not obligated, to me, it was unnecessary and it's BS.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think he handled that situation wrong because we're talking about a rookie receiver. The one thing you want to do with a rookie receiver, first of all, a receiver, they already have that mindset like, yo, give me the ball. Number one, it's a receiver taken out of the draft. Number 2 overall pick. No, sorry. Number 4 overall pick. Number 4 overall pick. And we were number 2. Number 4 overall pick. So the ego is there. The one thing you want for the rookies to do is build their confidence. If I'm not mistaken, in that video, didn't he say it's not my job to look for like a rookie receiver? Didn't he mention the word rookie or no?
I think so. I'm gonna look for the quote in the chat because I think I put it in there.
Yeah, I think he mentioned the word rookie. Now, if he did mention the word rookie, it sounds like a who looks kind of like, oh, I'm not feeding this rookie. Like they treat rookies like the bottom feeders and stuff like that. We in a new age, man. That's not the case with Amari Harrison. It was okay. It was for Joe. What? Okay. But yeah, anyway,
he did. He did. He said it's not his job to feed targets to rookie wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr. That's what.
See, why he gotta say rookie? I don't know. I just take that as a rookie is like a bottom feeder. Like, come on, man. Like, let's be real. And look, he was when he said it's up to Drew. He was talking about his offensive coordinator, Drew Passing, right? And he's right to an extent.
Sorry, that was wrong. He didn't say rookie. He just said it's not my job to feed him the ball. So he didn't say rookie.
Okay. My apologies then. So Drew, he's right to an extent when it's Drew's job. Drew's job is like, okay, you see your star receiver, potential star receiver, not getting the ball, get him a screen pass. Just put the ball, do something to get the ball in his hands. But Kyler Murray is a veteran quarterback. He already signed a new deal. He's not fighting for his first. He's not on his rookie deal no more. He's a veteran now. He know how this game works. If your receiver ain't getting no touches, make sure he get touches.
What happened when he had D-Hop? He made sure he fed him the ball, right?
Yeah, he did. Like, look for him. Like, give him an opportunity. That's all receivers want. You don't gotta throw it to him when he's completely wide open. If he got a single man coverage, throw it to him. Give him an opportunity. So and Kyler missed him wide open. Now look, I'm not gonna kill the man for missing him wide open because that happens. Somebody be wide open, you look on the left side of the field, on the right side of the field, wide open. I get it. But the comment doesn't make that play look even better for him. What Carr's talking about. My job not to look for him. But you did have him a few times and he was wide open and you missed him. So that's my thing. I don't like how he handled it because it's a rookie we're talking about. Your job as a veteran quarterback is to empower your rookie, not be in the media. Oh, it's up to Drew. You know how the media is. They're going to flip it. You know what they're going to do? They're going to take what you say and run with it. Marvin Harris is going to see it for the first time without you talking to him. And then he's going to feel some type of way. You know, oh, we got Coach Coombs in here. Let's get it. Okay, what are you talking about? Okay. That was a stupid comment from a child that runs around.
I just said that too. He fed D-Hop. He made sure D-Hop was involved in the game. But you don't do that to Marvin Harrison. I think that's just wrong.
That's messed up. That's messed up. But yeah, but anyways, I disagree how he handled it. If I was him, I would have been like, you know what? I haven't looked at the film. I haven't looked at the footage yet, the film. But on the sideline, I did see a play where I missed him wide open. Well, we just got to find a way to get him the ball because he's a talented receiver. Like, empower him. Don't be like, it's not my job to find him. What?
Exactly. That's from, to me, that can, some people can consider that disrespectful because it's dang, that this is my first NFL game and you're not trying to get me involved in the game. You drafted me 4th overall. I mean, so obviously the organization believes in me. So my own quarterback don't think I need to. Okay. And people, I'm gonna say this: the apple may not fall far from the tree. We know who his father is. His father's Marvin Harrison.
No.
He said himself that he was a diva and he wanted to make sure he was fed the ball. He played with Reggie Wayne, Dallas Clark, Edgerrin James, and Peyton Manning. So we know
get that man the ball.
Exactly. So if Peyton Manning made sure his father got fed the ball, and we know who Peyton Manning is. Kyler Murray, you're not Peyton Manning. You're not one of those kind of quarterbacks. You may need to feed your receiver as much as possible.
Yeah, man. Go look at Marvin Harrison's senior numbers compared to your favorite receiver. Look at his numbers. He got fed the ball. He got fed the ball for sure. And he like they said he played with other weapons. He played with a Hall of Fame running back, Edgerrin James. And he got Dallas Clark. He got fed the ball. But anyways, that was good. I'm glad you brought that up, Dave. Great show, man. All right, let's wrap this up, man. Listen, my last words. Shout out to everybody in the comment section. Y'all was lit today. Comments were lit today. Shout out to the whole R2L family. Shout out to the whole R2L network. Your boys want to know in the R2L fantasy league. You know, shout out to Coach Coombs for your show every Tuesday now.
That's every Wednesday at 8 a.m.
Every Wednesday. I love it because you're specifically talking about our league. So like we all look forward to we want to hear what you guys say. We want to hear what you guys say. No, I do want to say
we want to hear all good things and bad things because
it's like when you play in the NFL and your team and you win, you like first. I'm watching all the shows. When my team win, I'm watching all the shows. My team losing, like, dang, ain't y'all watching. But we want to know, baby. We beat Worm. Shout out to Worm. We got Lamar this week. Everything or nothing. We're going to give you an L, though. Everything in the L. That's what we're going to give you. And, Coach, I didn't appreciate you saying that. Joe, you want to know. Prepare to be 1-on-1. I ain't like that. I'm like, dang. What I do? Like,
he automatically called the L for you. Jeez.
that motivated me more. I'm like, man, I'm not going to waiver wire right now. Forget that. I got Coach motivate me, man.
Hey, I went to the waiver wire too. It's too bad somebody already picked up who I thought was going to be a free agent. Right. I should have known. Trent, you're a smart guy. You're a smart guy. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You're a smart guy.
Our league is good, though. I feel like we got some high IQ guys in our league, you know. And Teddy, don't let Coach talk to you like that, man. You keep talking down it's a team, bro. Like he keep throwing these little jokes about you.
No, boy, he be trashing your team, man.
Come on, Teddy, you get your dub this week. I don't know who you playing this week.
You gotta get it. I don't know who you playing this week, but you gotta get a dub.
You gotta get your dub. Points. and then Keith, if you listening, free up your schedule tomorrow. We want you on the show. We want you on the show. We got y'all this Sunday. We want you on the show, Keith. So free up your schedule. We want you on the show, my guy. Go ahead, Dave.
Hey, it's a free spot open. You know, my seat is open for tomorrow. So if you're able to come on the show, Keys, then make sure you come on the show. For me, all I want to say is great job to everybody that had shows this week. I know Carl had a show early this morning along with Coach Coombs. So I'm definitely gonna make sure I catch your shows after the game, of course, because we do have a game coming up pretty soon. But shout out to everybody, man. I know NBA season is coming up pretty soon, so I know RBO is gonna be hot. Unfazed, another great show, which is their third episode that just happened. Make sure you tune into that. In the Red Corner, another fire show. Everybody has been having great shows. Everybody keep up the great work. Do what you can to get up to your next level of subscribers. I am 9 away from 100. So if you are not subscribed to Dave's Doghouse, make sure you do so now. Episode 37 and 38 are already out, so go check it out if you haven't seen it. Tune in tomorrow, 7 p.m. for another R2L show. And Dolphins and Bills, give us a great game. We don't want to see what we saw last year on Amazon Prime. I'm not paying $20 a month to see a trash game on Thursday night. All right. So please play well.
Let's get it. Teddy got worm this week. Let's go with Teddy. All right, y'all. That's all we have for y'all today. And we'll see y'all at the next episode.
Peace.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all at the next episode.